Hello and welcome back. We're looking at the third stage in the system development life cycle. So we've gone and looked at preliminary analysis. We've looked at analysis, and now we're on to the design phase, and that's where the drawings all take place and some major decisions need to be done. Now, a way of getting our head around the design phase, I want us to think about an analogy of creating a car. Because if we're going to create a car with the design phase, big decisions need to be made. So for example, what we have here, if we're going to design our car, we've got to think about the fuel. Is this car going to be run on petrol? Is it going to be run on some other form of gas, diesel? Is it going to be electric or solar? I mean, those would be some big decisions. Type. Is it going to be an on-road or an off-road vehicle? Seats. One-seater, two, four. Is it going to be like a minivan? What type of size car would we have? And that would also apply to the engine size. How many cylinders? Is it going to be a V8, a V12? What else would it be? So those would be some rather large decisions to think about. You'd also have to think about these things: fabrication, parts and expertise. Fabrication. Does everything have to be built on site? Or, like in shipbuilding, you get parts built all around the world and then those parts brought to a central place. So could it be built on site, or could it be actually distributed across a whole range of sites? Parts. Do we have to make every single part? Or can we literally buy some stuff in, because it would obviously save on time and money? Expertise. Do we have what we have already? The mechanics in the garage, do they have all the expertise? So building this car could have been done in-house. Or do we have to outsource our expertise and bring people in? All those within the design phase make for large decisions, and from there the final product is based. Now, within a computer system setting, we would be saying, well, okay, what type of computer do we want? Do we want peer-to-peer, or would we want a client-server? Would we want a fat client or a thin client? The processor power. What are we building? Are we building a PC? Are we building a server? Are we building a supercomputer? And what about the whole system? That whole system, is it going to be centralized? Is everything going to be in one place? Or do we have the technology where this whole system can be distributed across several sites? The result of the design phase is essentially a presentation. And in that presentation, we will be looking at what the original problem was, what are the benefits to this now particular solution, how far has the design got to, the schedule, how long is it likely to take this whole project, what costs are incurred, what questions are being brought up, or questions people might have. There's also one called design details. And this is quite a sophisticated and expanded particular part of the design phase, because it's where you really start to nut out all the bits and bobs that are needed to make all the components to make this solution work. So within a computer setting, you'd be thinking, right, well, what inputs are needed into the system? What outputs are going to be shown? What type of processing is going to be done? And in this case, you'd be thinking about, if you were planning a program, using something called pseudocode, which we'll look at in programming. Again, what type of security, what type of backups, when are these backups going to be made? And what type of human involvement would be used, whether it be all automated, or would there be some form of input needed and output needed by humans? So the design phase is simply the drawing phase, where big decisions are made about the final look and outcome of the product. Thank you very much.